Who has been the biggest surprise in Bears training camp through the first week of camp? Let's talk about that, people. What is going on, y'all? Fox Sports all back at it with another video talking, of course, NFL here to talk about the Chicago Bears. If you're a Bears fan, please hit that big subscribe button down below. Please make sure you're following me on all my social media platforms, guys. As always, hit the bell icon so you're notified every time I drop a new video. Go subscribe. All right, so first week of training camp has wrapped up, and I've given you guys my updates on every single day of training camp, and I will continue to do so until the end of training camp and onwards into the season. But I wanted to just reflect on kind of what's surprised me during the first week of training camp, or a player that surprised me, or two perhaps. And to me, I'm not going to go with the, generic or obvious answer of the quarterback, Justin Fields, or even DJ Moore. We've heard countless good things about them, their chemistry, how quickly they've, been able to, just gel and be on the same page. Not going to talk about that. Going to talk a little bit more about the under the radar guys. And so to me, the two kind of guys, and I want to talk about two of them here that have kind of surprised me during camp. First one has been Robert Tonyan. Robert Tonyan has really been strong during training camp in terms of, catching balls and getting touchdowns. Like, he is a guy that Justin Fields has looked to during training camp quite a few times, and I've mentioned that. It's, not surprising that he is as good as advertised, I believe. It's surprising in the sense of how much I believe he could potentially play this year. I really, really believe we're going to be running a lot of two tight end sets with Cole Kmet, with Robert Tonyan. All right, so don't worry about Cole Kmet's playing time. It's not going anywhere. He just signed a massive extension, so Kmet is here to stay. It's just that Robert Tonyan's going to play, and he's going to play a lot. Not only when Cole needs a breather, but on the field with Cole. And he's a guy who's going to be used in the red zone a lot, man. I think every time we get in the red zone, I think Robert Tonyan is most likely going to be in those red zone packages. He's just too big of a body. He's just got too good of hands to not be utilized. And so to me, think of him as, I know he was pretty washed up when we had him, but a better version of the Jimmy Graham that we had, where Jimmy Graham was essentially only utilized in the red zone. I'm not saying that's going to be the case with Robert Tonyan, but I really, really feel like his usage will be very heavy in the red zone. And I think the chemistry with him and Fields has just been, pretty seamless as well. So to me, he is kind of surprising me with how quickly he's been able to pick up the offense. Well, that shouldn't be a surprise. He obviously knew the offense from Green Bay with our OC Luke Getsy. But still, just how quickly he's picked it up. And then just the fact that he's been, able to have such a good camp thus far and showcase that he was a steal for us. I truly believe this, and I've said this plenty of times. Robert Tonyan would be starting on a lot of teams right now. He's a starting level tight end, and we have him as our backup. So that's the first one. And number two, a little bit lower on the surprise scale, but nonetheless, Velus Jones Jr. All right, now Velus is a guy who we've talked about could be on the roster bubble, right? And he still very well could be, but I think Velus has shown flashes during camp. They've been able to use him, obviously, in the wide receiver sets, but also on the return game. And he's been able to kind of showcase some flashes in both. I still, want Velus to get better at things. Like, even when he catches the ball, it never feels like it's natural or easy for him. But I want him to obviously continue to get better. And the thing with Velus that he has, man, that not a lot of guys do, is just his speed is ridiculous. Now, we did draft Tyler Scott, who's got unreal speed. But the thing with Velus is that I believe he is unlike any other player on the Bears, where we can use him as a gadget player. Like, to me, he is the total gadget player. Use him on end arounds, sweeps, runs, everything, right? Like deep shots. Like, you can put Velus, line him up anywhere, and I think he's got that Percy Harvin type of versatile impact. He just has to realize it, but it's got to be quick, man, because, again, he is 26, so we're talking about a guy who's not exactly 20, 21, 22, and he's got a lot of guys to beat out if he wants to keep a roster spot in terms of, for the long term. But he has been impressive, because I really didn't think I would hear his name a lot, but I have. And Velus has been making plays during camp, and I love to see it, and I hope it continues. So the two guys to me that have kind of surprised me the most during camp has been Robert Tonyan and Velus Jones Jr.? Who has that been for you guys? Leave a comment down below with your thoughts. As always, thanks for watching.